Well, did you perhaps lose a friendship last year? If you did, there's one survey that says you are certainly not alone in this. As we dive into this new year, though, it could be a good time to take stock of your friendships that you have and find ways to reconnect. More on that today from Lauren Hall.
A survey last year says Americans reported having fewer close friendships than they once did. The most obvious culprit, COVID. But the survey says broader forces could be at play too, like getting married later in life and being more geographically mobile increased rates of isolation and loneliness. Also, parents are spending more time with their kids, crowding out other types of relationships. And Americans are working longer hours, meaning less time for maintaining and developing friendships. We have to remember, though,
humans are social creatures. We just are. We need people.
Enter life coach Linda Fliss.
Even prior to the pandemic, a lot of my clients had what we call the social goal, because as it turns out, it's really hard to make friends as an adult.
Throw in a pandemic and it makes it worse. So what can you do? Fliss says the first step is to take an assessment of where your relationships are and ask yourself what you want from them. Then be intentional, which means
it means that you identify that there's a problem and then you create a plan to address that problem.
So what's doable? It could be a bi-weekly lunch, it could be setting aside time for a phone call every month, or it could be just as simple as texting a couple times a week. Fliss says just keep it consistent.
You don't need to go into this full, with 100% of your energy. Just tiny little steps at a time create behavior change.
Fliss says it does require vulnerability and understanding.
We can only control ourselves.
For Most Buffalo, I'm your friend, Lauren Hall.